All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode number 512. Tonight, I'm here with Alex Schlegel,
What up, guys? Good to see you.
James Babb. Nothing? You got
So
nothing,
good to
James?
be here.
Are you-
Can you not read my moniker is paranoid crypto anarchist?
Okay. And returning to the show, our guest here is Nikki Pinecone.
What a be?
What's going on, guys? How's life going?
Everything.
Everything's going.
Late stage clown world. It can't get more exciting than this. This is great.
Yeah.
Was your name supposed to be? Was your name supposed to be a play on like a Radiohead song there, James?
What? No, I don't know Radiohead songs.
Paranoid Android?
Yeah.
No, it was. Well, it's something that Michael Saylor. It's a term Michael Saylor just threw out there, and now that he's gone evil.
Should we start off with that video? You want to dive into that?
I mean, I think it's big news, but I don't. I mean, maybe you guys tell me what you think.
Let's see. Let me pull it up here.
I mean, Michael Saylor's been one of the biggest proponents of Bitcoin out there, right?
Yeah, he's
I mean,
just buying it up. Let's see what he says.
And pushing it out on, just pumping his bags on podcast and TV show after TV show.
If there is more Bitcoins held with these third-party custodians, what risk does that pose, having greater supply held by fewer large institutions? Does that increase the risk of seizure and confiscation like we've seen with gold? And is that not exactly what Bitcoiners don't want to happen?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think that when the Bitcoin is held by a bunch of crypto anarchists who aren't regulated entities, who don't acknowledge government or don't acknowledge taxes or don't acknowledge reporting requirements, that increases the risk of seizure.
Yeah.
You have an OG crypto community that's very hardcore about it, but if you look at where all the money is, 99.9% of the money is actually in the traditional economy.
If you consider the Great Depression, I mean, people thought that their gold was safe in banks until the Executive Order of 1933. So we're not entirely safe. I mean, I know that's kind of a wild thing to suggest may happen again, but history does repeat itself. So people's Bitcoin wouldn't be entirely safe.
People say that, but mostly it's paranoid crypto anarchists that say that, okay? Because it's a myth and a trope that goes on over and over again. But first of all, he didn't really seize the gold. People voluntarily turned in the gold. They didn't go and kick in everybody's door, arrest them, shoot them, and take their gold. That never happened. Is the United States on the Bitcoin standard?
Maybe we will be soon.
But the point really is we're not. Right? It's totally not a reasonable comparison. People have these inflammatory, tropes or inflammatory memes that they use, and it's like, I say that because I want you to give me your money. Okay, like if you don't trust the bank, then you'll buy my hardware wallet. If you don't trust this government, you'll move to my country and you'll buy a passport from me. That's the kind of fear mongering to get you to give me your money, right? And
doesn't he own? I mean, he has a fund, right? Like he has a fund, Grayscale, right?
No, that's not his fund.
Oh wait, no, but what? Well,
MicroStrategy is his company.
MicroStrategy, yeah.
This is what I've always been expecting out of Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor has always been a Bitcoin person, but he's literally what I would classify.
He's an investor.
He is the Great Reset. They want to buy up all the Bitcoin so that they are the only ones that have it, and they get to define and milk the new economy. They want to be the ones in charge of all of the wealth. That's always what this has ever been about. We all know we're moving to a digital currency at some point.
So Satoshi was a Fed?
Whether Satoshi was or not. The point is the Feds are always going to take advantage of whatever you create. Period.
This is
all you have to do is not.
This is 180 degrees. This is 180 degrees.
Not from anything I've ever heard from him.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, he's always been an endorser of Bitcoin. He's always been. But every time I've heard him talk about it, he's talking about it in the context of comparing it to real estate, just basically talking about it as an investment. He's never said anything that I can recall about governments or taxes or anything like that. So while it is disappointing to hear this, because you kind of just assume all Bitcoin proponents are like anti-state. They're not. They're not all. So.
Well, Bitcoin is for everyone, including oligarchs and dictators and governments and other shitheads around the world. So, we kind of have to expect this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like whatever he says about this, it doesn't matter because the Bitcoin is what Bitcoin is. They're talking about confiscation. Like, how are you going to confiscate my Bitcoin? You're not.
Well, they can confiscate if it's held at Coinbase.
Well, obviously
they can confiscate it. That's the whole thing. That's what the question was: is your Bitcoin safe in these institutions? And he's saying, "Oh, it's the most safe. It's those crypto anarchists that are making it unsafe.
They're fear mongering.
Whoa, wait a minute! Those crypto anarchists with their hardware wallets. Oh my goodness, right?" Put your money in Coinbase where it's safe. Government, they'll never turn on you. If you don't trust the government and your banks, you're just paranoid. I mean, Jesus Christ, Michael Saylor.
And when he says that people just voluntarily gave their gold, did they voluntarily give their gold, or was it at the threat of confiscation?
People were prosecuted.
Yeah.
People, no doubt about it. Just because people complied instead of getting killed doesn't mean they did it voluntarily.
Right. Like I allegedly pay my taxes every year, but that's not voluntary.
Allegedly.
Because I don't
presumably. You presumably pay your taxes.
Yeah. That's just because I don't want some Fed kicking down my door. That's a choice I have to make every
But
year.
What is it? I mean, now obviously he's trying to pump his own bags. Right. There's nothing surprising about that. He's probably like his company probably is it their largest holder of Bitcoin anywhere? I don't know. It's got to be up there with it.
Might be a fucking.
I don't know that it is now. I know that at one point it was, but
with these ETFs, they've been having to buy up
within
stock
the past
to match the fund. So like
right. So
Blackstone probably has, Grayscale probably has.
Yeah. Looking at
I just wonder why has his tone changed? I mean, he even mentioned gold confiscation before when he was promoting Bitcoin. As a reason to have Bitcoin, he mentioned gold confiscation, and now he's 180 degrees going, "Oh no, come on, give us institutions."
That was also the argument he made about why real estate is bad. He's like, with real estate, they can just come and take your real estate. They can just eminent domain your real estate. So yeah, he has done. Someone got to him. He got compromised somehow. Probably
I think what you're seeing is that where we are in the op now. Like this has always been the plan. It's where we now that the whole ETF part of this has gone through, and they're just the actual government position on this now. Well, now they just start giving it up amongst themselves, and that's where the money's to go. Like, he's just playing nice in the system as it is. That's how this has always worked. They've got their control now. There's not anybody who's going to be a real threat from, like he said, 99.9% of it's held by these big companies, so the other people are kind of irrelevant, and they just need to give the rest over.
Well, but for now, we can hold our own keys. And Bitcoin, like you said, Bitcoin does not care. Nobody has to send their Bitcoin to Coinbase. Nobody has to have a BlackRock ETF. People can still own it. And even if they try to outlaw it, I mean, who knows? I mean, that seems to be what they're going for, right? Try to move all this Bitcoin into the institutions and then try to outlaw private ownership. I mean,
the only concern would be if they started buying up all the miners. Like if they got control of all of the miners, that would be a concern. But like holding the Bitcoin, it's not ETH. It's not ETH. So it's not that type of proof of what is it? Proof of stake. It's not proof of stake, which is why it's superior to everything. It's proof of work. So unless they can get, and most of those, a lot of those are in China anyway, so they can't get their hands on that shit.
But with this kind of money, it is possible to develop the Bitcoin development and Bitcoin core and the path that Bitcoin takes. And, money is power. And these are big powers, big money in play. Like, will Bitcoin survive? A lot of people have already, counted it out. I'm not one of those, but it's definitely, it's still being tested.
I mean, it can always be forked, right? Like if they decide, they're going to take over the Bitcoin, GitHub repo or wherever, that doesn't mean that we all have to use that, right? We can fork, we can go a different route. As long as the internet's there for it to be distributed, like they can't really shut it down. But yeah, they can make it harder, and they can, they can put some roadblocks in, but they can't stop it.
It's just interesting to see like these people just turn like that. I mean, it's always, remember when Elon Musk was like, suddenly he was pro Bitcoin and it was like, oh my God. And the price pumped and you could buy your Cybertruck with Bitcoin. And then like a week later, he's like, oh, Bitcoin's terrible. I'm into Dogecoin now. Like like just shut up.
Well, he's just an asshole, but
big Cybertrucks.
Yeah,
like
an autistic asshole.
Celebrities getting involved are just a bad idea.
Okay, so here's the other thing. How many crypto political ads have you gotten this year?
I've seen quite a few.
They're almost
like television ads or like mailers or just.
Wait, what is a crypto political ad?
Like all of the texts I get, they're not vote Republican, they're not vote Democrat, they're all crypto. They're all save crypto. They're all, protect crypto. And those are all backed politically by somebody.
Well, I think that when they use the word crypto, they're saying scam is what they're saying. They're talking Sam Bankman-Fried. They're talking, like some kind of, it's some bullshit scammy thing. They're not talking about real Bitcoin. They're talking about crypto and some kind of like just shitty thing they want to protect.
Well, and that was the thing.
To be the case.
Anytime they text me, I'll ask voting which way is going to help me protect crypto, and it's like, oh, well, that's not what we're trying to tell you. Okay, well then what is your point? There is no point.
And what do you mean by protect crypto? First of all,
that's the whole point.
Crypto,
you don't have to
these scams may need protecting. Bitcoin doesn't need your protection. If it did, it would be the wrong technology, right?
It wouldn't be cryptographic, right? I mean,
well, the whole world of crypto is based on shit coins and scams and pre-mines and rug pulls and and all that shit. That kind of stuff. Oh, that's great for politics because you're scamming hundreds of millions of dollars like Sam Bankman-Fried did, and then you're channeling that back to the corrupt politicians. It's like, it's one of the greatest scams that they've come up with since like arms trade. And this one just bankrupts people. It doesn't actually blow up entire countries. So, maybe this is progress.
Maybe this is the preferred option.
Yeah. Just straight up theft without all the dismemberment.
Speaking of Bitcoin, it's almost back up to 70.
Yeah, 68.
68,000 right now.
And the one question that's, I guess, people think of, most people when they're talking about Bitcoin, they're thinking about price. So when they say what's good for Bitcoin, they're really saying what's good for Bitcoin price.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what's really good for Bitcoin, I think, is to be, like the whole community on a purely defensive position at all times. Not trying to get complacent and saying, oh, well, you know what? Now we don't have to worry as much. Like, oh, we got Trump, like he said he's going to, everything's going to be fine. Let's just put our guard down a little bit, and that's when the most evil shit will happen. That's when they'll come over and take over Bitcoin Core. That's when they'll just slip in some extra regulations. That's when there'll be, a little bit more monitoring, more investment into tracking crypto transactions.
Well, we played. When was that when Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference? What were some of the shit ideas?
A couple months ago.
Yeah,
he had some of the dumbest ideas.
Yeah.
He was going to have a Bitcoin strategic reserve in the country.
Yes, that was it.
What the hell is that going to be? Like, what does that really even mean? Like, in case
Yeah.
all goes wrong, we've still got some Bitcoin in the treasury. We can, like, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, there was quite a few others. I'm trying to find if there's like some clips to
Fire Gary
rehash.
Gensler.
Yeah, there was that. What else was it? But yeah, I don't know. But it could it just be the
He
sign
just
of the times?
panders.
Like, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just one more lobby group. It could be Israel, could be the LP, could be Bitcoiners, could be, some, like, just put him in front of any group and he'll just gush about whatever dumb shit he's going to do for them.
So this always brings me back to Tom Luongo.
Okay.
And
What's he been saying lately? I haven't
Well-
listened to him in a while.
Well, one of the big things that he's been preaching is this bifurcation between like the old technocrats and we'll say the new money guys, the tech bros. And based on like who's involved with who, his thing has been that like you got your Vivek, and one of the reasons he thinks Trump picked what's his that guy from here? Hillbilly LSU. I can never remember his name. Vance. JD Vance. One of the reasons he picked him is actually because of his involvement with the, we'll say, the tech bro sector.
Palantir.
And the idea behind this being is that essentially the tech sector is trying to wrest control away from the technocratic sector. And so that while they may in the long run be enemies of us, it's still a better enemy to have than, say, the government, the technocratic types which want centralized control, because it's far more difficult for the private institutions to force us to do things like a centralized government control can. His the whole thing, and it always confuses me because
but they always end up working together, right? I mean, the tech sector doesn't just they're not anarchists, right? Like, I mean, look at Elon. He works with NASA. He works with, he gets all these subsidies.
Okay, so
is it preferred to is it preferred to NASA? Yeah, sure. It's
but here's the thing in that when you say that, if the government's handing out money, would you rather you have it or some other person that's going to go the more technocratic route? I'd rather an Elon have the money than just give Kamala Harris the fucking money.
Is he your favorite oligarch?
I mean, yeah.
I don't trust any oligarchs, but
I mean, you got to pick your favorite, right? I mean, don't we all have to choose?
Can't I just hate them all?
I mean, I don't like anybody in charge.
I mean, I like products that Elon makes. Some of them.
Like, right. You've got the Amazon guy, right? You've got,
I like
Amazon. Have to choose from. You've got Elon.
I buy shit off Amazon like every day, but that doesn't mean I have to like Bezos.
But you know what? I have a feeling that I'm like, first of all, I don't trust any of them, but
yeah,
that's got to be better than like the Google oligarchs or like Palantir people, or who are some of these other mega rich people like Miriam Adelson. How about these oligarchs?
Yeah. That's the whole freaking Tom Luongo thing. It's always like, is it a false like hope that you get from it? It's like he says everything. It's like it's all doom and gloom, but at the end of the day, there is always the fact that most of these people are still willing to screw each other over, and their desire to be the king themselves inherently means that collusion is not going to be like a serious option for any of them. Like, they're always willing to screw over the other guy to be the king. And that kind of like puts us in a position where as long as we can keep them petty.
But they do kind of work together, though. They work together frequently, right? Like, they'll have deals between each other, and, they're not completely
everybody
isolated.
Does. Yeah. It's not about isolation. The whole point is you have to pay attention and take advantage of that stuff. Like, understand when like they're working with each other, when they're working against each other, and kind of the motions that make them. As I said,
or
the
just
thing is,
pick the best oligarch. Like, My oligarch Elon has like Starlink network. Okay,
James
nobody
that was
else
what I
has
was
a
saying,
global
James.
satellite network like that, right?
And
Even
doesn't
from
have a
Amazon
conver-
is trying. He's trying to get satellites up there. He's even got his own spaceship that looks like a giant penis. Okay, but it's just like that's all he's got. Like
James doesn't have
James
a congressman. He has an oligarch.
Well, I will give Elon that. Like he's the one that
James is writing his oligarch.
he has the most products.
Please make a cool truck for me.
exactly, and I want to go to space.
Yeah, please make me a rocket ship, please.
You can't get past the firmament.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool watching that tower catch a freaking rocket falling back to Earth.
Holy
Yeah, it's
shit,
fucking
that was
sick.
incredible.
Well, is it real? I don't know, but it looks cool.
Alex says no.
CGI. I don't know. Do it on the moon, and then I'll be impressed. Get past the firmament and land on the moon, and then I'll be like impressed with that.
Yeah, but would you believe that? I feel like, Alex, you have to actually go to the moon yourself to believe that.
Yeah,
it's real.
probably. Yeah, I don't. I mean, unless it's had amazing graphics, like when India landed on the moon a couple months ago. That shit was hilarious. Let me see if I can find those clips. That was hilarious.
You're reminding me I have another issue of Department of Truth I haven't read yet. I gotta get on that.
What's the Department of Truth?
It's this wild comic book where you've had basically the Cold War was the Americans and Russia fighting over the myths that define the world. And the current run that I'm in the middle of, they've solidified that what's his name? Supposedly killed Kennedy, is the guy in charge of this department.
Israel.
They haven't gotten there yet in this narrative, but like the whole thing's all just about conspiracy theories, myths, and all that stuff, and it's right now it's just all circling around Kennedy and the Kennedy assassination and things like that, which is ripe for storytelling.
That sounds neat.
Oh, absolutely. And the guys that did it, James Tynion IV, I can't remember the artist, but they actually did a comic book version of Universal's Dracula like a couple months back that was wild too. Not to get too off track, but he's get me on the conspiracy rabbit hole and I start thinking about it.
Yeah. All right, what else we got here?
Who are you all guys all planning on voting for in like a month? 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Wu-Tang?
You're still voting?
I didn't say I am, but I mean, this week has been nothing but libertarians coming out and saying who they plan on voting for. And
So, like, who are these libertarians that you're referring to?
well, it depends which country kind you're talking about. Some of them are
What kind of libertarian are you talking about?
Kamala. Some say Trump.
Who really? There's. I mean, if you're going to vote for Kamala, wouldn't you just go all the way and go for Chase? I mean, if you like grooming and if you like cops, like I think like LP can compete on this one.
Yeah.
You see, you can't though because Chase is actually taking himself out of the race. I got a thing from the LP this week, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be telling me to help Chase or vote Chase or whatever, and literally the campaign slogan that was at the top of it was "Chase the vote."
Wow.
Which it's like, so you're telling me that you're in last place,
Right?
trying to keep up.
Yeah,
It is the dumbest signaling I've ever
bad
heard from a
attempt,
marketing perspective. Like,
Yeah,
it's really, really bad.
we got to catch up.
I'm like, I think I had to respond to the email. I'm like, no.
Maybe they mean it like chase the vote, like a chaser. After you're, like you take a shot and then you take a chaser to like wash it down. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna vote for Kamala or Trump, but and then just wash it down later to try to live with yourself.
With a big bucket of horse shit. That's not what I chase my liquor with.
Well, I actually saw a YouTube ad that came up for a few seconds before I hit skip for Chase.
What?
I'm not sure what it.
Get
I'm
out.
not sure what it would have said, but yeah, it was an actual YouTube ad coming up for Chase Oliver, and I was kind of curious, but I just hit skip.
Who's paying
because
for
I
that
had
shit?
to.
But you actually
I don't know.
you skip.
This is how
things?
I'm voting, dude.
I just had to, like
Saw this in my neighborhood.
Well, so I actually play a different game when voting season.
Presidents are
comes around.
temporary. Wu-Tang is
Wu-Tang
forever.
is forever.
I actually report every political ad that I get for violence.
as violence or
As-
scam
as
or
violence.
misleading.
That's what I used to do
content, or-
when I was on Facebook. That's what I always did that shit.
Nice.
It's a little
It
bit more of
never
a pain in
does
the ass.
anything though.
It
Has
makes
it
me
ever
feel
stopped
good.
you from seeing one of these stupid ads?
No, but I feel better inside.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've reported St. Jude's Children's Hospital? Like screw those people. I can't stand them.
What? Why?
Damn, that's cold.
It's a scam.
I keep
Yeah.
no matter how many times I say like block this ad, I keep getting them.
Oh, I get them all the time. Like I can't. Well, I mean, we're
You just got to get off of Facebook. That's your problem.
That's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, say YouTube is the worst.
Oh, YouTube, you just pay for premium.
I know, but
So-
I
Yeah, but then I have to give you have to give Google money.
Whatever, dude.
Chase got a huge endorsement though. I think we got the video here. This was
Ooh.
huge. This would probably be a bump in the.
Huge.
Was
Was
it
this
from,
the ad you saw? Was this the ad you
Is this
happened to
Liz,
see?
Liz Cheney?
No, was this the ad you saw on YouTube by chance?
Let's see it.
Babs, this might be the one.
I don't know.
Hold on. Here we
Let's
go.
pull it up here.
I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, Billie Eilish, huh?
Oh wow. It's a huge endorsement.
It starts with voting against Donald Trump and for silence is not an option, and we cannot sit this one out. It starts
Wow.
Okay.
Let's see that again.
No, that's not a real ad. But
Come on, it's our.
that is
listen,
terrible.
We give him a hard time, but I feel like we should be promoting his candidacy on the show. So let's play it again.
No.
Sorry,
Or
it
not.
finished out.
Nah,
My
Already,
real
it's gone.
my real
Forget about
issue is that Billie Eilish looks like a fucking hostage.
They're
Like,
all hostages,
All of them do,
dude.
man. It's so sad. Like it's really interesting.
Like,
And
It's like, do you
have all
want
these
your
Kamala
career to be
clips.
destroyed?
Well,
No?
that's what's
Well, then you
happening.
got to make this ad for Kamala.
well, no,
Yep.
like you look at her, she just looks like she's stoned to keep her from running away. Like that's
Is there
and
well?
in her
Is
eyes,
there any
it's like, please save me. I'm too high to move.
Dude, all
any
of them.
chance she's in the Diddy tapes? I feel like a lot of these
Ah,
celebrities that have come
yeah.
out, like with these, like they're you expect celebrity endorsements. Okay, fine, but some of these seem so just disingenuous.
Mhm.
I understand they can just get paid to do this kind of stuff, and that's fine. But some of them these celebrities are just clearly not into what they're doing.
No,
Are you talking-
you're
talking
right.
Usher?
Gab.
Reluctantly relating a script as if literally there's like somebody's got a gun on them, being like, "You're going to read
Or the
this."
fact, like just about a month and a half ago, you had Usher,
good.
and
Yeah.
he wasn't even on The View. They were goading him, trying to get him like, "Aren't you going to support Kamala?" And he's like, "I'm not really political. I don't really get into." And Joy was like, "Well, you got to support her. You got to support her." And he's like, "I'm not really political." And then all of a sudden, all of the Diddy stuff started coming out, and all the implications, and Usher, and being involved, and many others, and this and that. And all of a sudden, now he's just out there campaigning. I think he was in Georgia, and he's doing up there. They're like, "Yep, get on up there, or else." And yeah, I think there's many others. You had Eminem, Samuel Jack, all of these like.
Samuel L. Jackson.
He's
Yeah,
always,
he was
he's
out
always
there.
been like that, though.
What's that?
He's always been the show.
Well, I mean, I maybe not all of them, but it just seems very
Well, no,
odd that
Samuel
all of a
Jackson
sudden they're
has
coming
always
out
been
of the
a show.
woodwork.
Like-
Who was that?
Samuel L. Jackson has always been
Okay.
a show. Like he's always been tits up for the Democratic Party. What's his name? Remember the Titans guy there, Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
He's usually pretty good, pretty based, and Morgan Freeman's usually pretty based about stuff too.
Oh yeah, there's that one video about Morgan Freeman where he's talking about racism and I think voting for Barack Obama or something. And yeah, it was whatever. I don't remember exactly the words, but it was based.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like to Babs's point that they're being held captive, they're being forced out there. Either you do this or else you're going to be implicated.
Even if
The
it's not
videos are gonna
Diddy,
come
it's
out.
just you might not get that next acting job. You know,
That's
you might
true,
not be
too.
in that next
Yeah.
like garbage
Well,
Marvel movie that's coming out.
Yeah. You
The
might not
Diddy
get-
thing is weird and like how big and deep it goes though. Like it's been a dust up in like places that I would have never thought about. Like it's when you're dealing with rap stuff, there's places that you expect it to pop up. You know, if you mention Diddy, Jay-Z's gonna get mentioned, and they're gonna mention Eminem, but you never know how it's gonna be. But like finding out like how some of these people have hated each other for like ever. Like the whole 50 Cent angle on so much of this. And then the fact that 50 Cent got involved with VC money and like he's basically doing the Silicon Valley thing. All those Vance guys that we were talking about earlier, like this shit runs deep and wild.
Yeah.
The best thing I've gotten out of it is a resurgence of Trevor Moore songs, though.
Yeah, they've been coming out of the woodwork lately. It's more and more.
It's time for guillotines.
Let's take a look at some of these great endorsements that Kamala's really racking up. She's got the IRS Employees Union. Okay, that was a big one.
Huge.
Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney. So we've got like bona fide like war criminals.
Wait a minute.
Of the torture programs.
But in reference to those two, Tim thought that those were how he's going to pull in the libertarians and the Constitution.
Yeah. Are you referring to the Jon Stewart clip, right? That he was on Jon Stewart and even Jon Stewart's like, Liz and Dick Cheney? Like the Cheneys? And what did he say, Nikki? He was just like,
this is how he thinks it'll appeal to maybe the more libertarian, constitutionalist, don't tread on me types. Was Dick Cheney.
That's what Walz said.
Tim Walz said
on Jon Stewart.
Tim Walz, the VP.
Like, this guy's a fucking moron.
Oh my God! Touchdown, Timmy. So right. So and then let's look at some more of these endorsements. Oh, Usher, like literally like fresh out of the P. Diddy scandal. Usher. Who were some of these other dirt bags that have been endorsing or completely backfires? She's super popular chick singer
Taylor Swift.
Big Taylor Swift.
Oh,
like I've heard that had a negative impact on Kamala's polling. So like every single I don't know, like none of these celebrity things seem to be working.
You know why they don't work? Because celebrities don't work anymore. The whole thing, AI is destroying it. The bottom is falling out of Hollywood.
This
I've been
one
calling it for years, but we're there.
But
well, I don't
have
think it's,
you
I don't
seen
think
this
it's
endorsement,
AI.
guys?
I think it's just people don't. I mean, old people care about celebrities, but like young people don't give a shit about celebrities, right? Their celebrities are like the YouTube streamers, which also they're endorsing politicians too now, but that's at least more effective, right? You get
this might tip the scales, guys. This endorsement, I don't know if you saw. This is breaking.
Oh, look at this!
But
dude.
Insane Clown Posse endorses Kamala Harris.
That would actually frighten me.
No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, come on.
Violent J,
Clown Posse. You like you need Clown World and for a clown posse, right? Like.
And what surely comes as heartbreaking disappointment to Donald Trump, Insane Clown Posse's Violent J has endorsed Kamala Harris for president.
Who?
This is like
say, hold on. He says, "I want her to win because she's." Hold on, go back.
Oh, my bad.
He said, "I want her to win because she's a Democrat. She's my mom," or something like that. What the fuck? This whole mom thing is absurd.
So now
that could also be completely facetious.
How deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go on the whole Insane Clown Posse angle?
Because I really don't.
Not that deep. Maybe like
deep.
Maybe
like
about
scratch
a
the
foot
surface.
Because it was really good for their career a few years back, was being officially listed on the FBI list of terrorist organizations. That definitely didn't hurt their cred, we'll just say.
Yeah.
The fact that they still exist and they're still out there, it's just.
And you know how many people still show up to the?
What's the Juggalo thing? The gathering.
Yeah, the gathering. It's still not a small event, guys. I hate to break it to
Really?
you.
Hey, man,
God,
to
what?
each their own.
Look, there's always going to be white trash out there.
Yeah,
Always.
you're right. They're out there.
I mean, what was that fucking show on Comedy Central?
And I don't want to point out that Insane Clown Posse was owned by Disney.
Wow.
Owned by Disney?
Hollywood
Well, there it
Records,
is. That's what.
subsidy of Disney.
Oh,
Is it all about
record
child
label?
trafficking then?
Very possibly.
Well, that's why they endorse Kamala and the Democrat Party. They're all in on it.
I think
Diddy
we got some
and
good Kamala
Epstein
videos
and all of them.
queued up.
Oh yeah, let's get
Did
to
you see
those.
that one,
So,
like,
which one, Babs?
Kamala CNN
thought
Town
they-
Hall lowlights?
oh, I didn't see that one. I'm sure that's good.
Yeah,
We also
so-
have one where it's like if somebody spliced together a whole bunch of scenes where she's touching her nose in an interesting way, inviting speculation. What else do you have?
Let's see.
I'm working on it.
Jared's going to surprise us here. Oh, this is the recent town hall with the old CIA Pooper, Anderson Pooper here.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes.
Okay, off to a good start.
They range from, if you've ever parented
wear
a
knee
child,
pads
you
at
make lots
first.
of mistakes too. In my
You're not
role
a parent?
as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Is there something?
Wow,
Literally
she
didn't answer the
demonstrated
question.
it.
What the fuck, dude? Dude, that's like the first question that you like research when you do like a job interview, right?
Right.
Like that's one of the ones you have to like study up like the night before. You're like, all right, when they ask me like, have I fucked up at my last job?
What did I
gotta
learn
have
from
an
it?
Answer. Yeah, what did I learn from it? I gotta
And
have
you
How
have
did
to
I
say something
improve?
like, "Oh, I was too
How did you
much
handle
of
it?
a perfectionist. I
I
was
worked too hard.
on myself.
I worked too
driving
hard.
myself to succeed too hard, putting my work before family."
If she had said that,
Now
that
I
would have at
know.
least been like an answer. But she literally didn't even give an answer.
But I made many mistakes, like raising
She's like,
children.
as a parent,
She has no kids.
As a
She's
parent.
I was gonna
stepmom.
say I didn't think she had kids. She's
She's
not
a
a parent.
stepmom.
she's a stepmom.
Yeah, but she's not a parent. She's not she. Wow, my God,
She's like
she's
a mom
done for.
adjacent, right? Just like she's black adjacent. You know what I mean? Like she's in the vicinity of these things. She's middle
How did we
class
miss this? Dude?
adjacent.
Hold on.
I
Well,
do
Joe
love that.
just posted
New
it.
fan Joe here says, looks like Kamala grabbed them by the posse. Oh, that's a good one.
I wouldn't mind that T-shirt. Just a picture of her and Violent J grab him by the posse.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so and not only that, but to see it, all those stupid fucking town halls are so scripted. I mean, they put the ball on the tee, and it's like and they know what questions are coming. The fact that that's how you answer that question.
Well, speaking of which, so Trump obviously is going to be doing Joe Rogan.
Wow. Yes, I
And-
saw that. Yeah.
Is that 100% confirmed yet?
It is 100% confirmed now. It is also 100% confirmed that Kamala has backed out.
I'm gonna come.
She backed out?
Yep.
Oh,
No, there's no way. There's no way she can. The fact, and then the fact that literally the news, their angle is, oh, this is the first time in history that a president has backed out of the 60 Minutes interview. And it's like, why the fuck would you go on 60 Minutes and then and they're trying to dunk on the fact that Trump's going on Rogan.
I mean, how
and
many
bringing
people
up the
watch
old
60
tropes.
Minutes? I'd be
Exactly.
curious.
And
But how many people listen to Joe Rogan's podcast and watch Joe Rogan's podcast? Like 50 million?
Yeah, but you know
something
what?
like
Those
that?
old people that watch 60 Minutes, that's like 80% of voters.
That is
right?
true.
Like
yeah,
these people really believe in it, and they've got the time, and they've been brainwashed their whole lives.
Yeah, but 60 Minutes is a really particular one because I've never seen her get more than 12 minutes of speech out in any interview. Like they have to throw all the rest of it away, and you just couldn't fill an hour worth of programming with Kamala Harris answering questions.
Especially if her campaign gets to edit it afterwards.
Yeah.
I love Venn diagrams.
Dude, just so we're fair,
dude.
Just so we're
if Trump
fair
loses
and
this,
impartial.
he's gonna have to be so fucking embarrassed, dude. You
Well,
lost to
it's
Joe
gonna be
Biden
stolen.
and you lost to Kamala Harris.
Well, I was stolen.
He should be. He should be.
You got to be better at
where he's
rigging shit,
at.
man. I don't know. Make
He's
better
had-
connections.
He's had 2 assassination attempts. There's no way it should be this close. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
there was
not,
a. There's.
though.
Did you? What about
Well,
the?
it's
There
not
was a
that close
third.
right now.
Did you hear about the third assassination attempt? Possibly.
The Iranian one?
Oh yeah.
A guy was. I think that he got out with like a $5,000 bond, but they said he was a sovereign citizen and he had weapons and he's something.
Oh, here's the latest odds.
This is the latest election betting odds. 60% for Trump, 39.3 for Harris.
Yeah, she's plummeting.
If you
It
go over
is.
to Polymarket, I think it's even worse. Polymarket has 64% to 35%.
Man, look at that. So you look at the bump. When
What's
is that? That's July. That was the rise here. That was what, July, August, when they swapped her out, right,
Yeah.
with Biden.
Yeah.
So there's only so much corporate media that can prop her up for so long, and the more she's out there doing shit,
But look,
it's just
something happened around October 6th, and it just boom.
She started doing interviews, I think, or
Yeah.
also Timmy was on the scene. They're like, "Here's Timmy."
Oh, is that when
Like
they picked Waltz?
yeah.
like everything. Like he was that debate with him was a big. I think that
Why
was
did
like
they
that
pick
first
dude?
big.
Like,
bump.
why did they just pick that fucking California guy or like the?
Well,
Shapiro
first of all, they have a limited selection of people they can choose from. You have to be a confirmed pedophile, and they got to have a file on you. Okay, so
dude? You telling me they don't
and
have
then-
that on
and then-
fucking Newsom?
Not yet. He's still.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't know that Newsom wants it. He
Yeah,
makes
maybe
too
not.
much money off of his position currently.
Mm.
And I
Like,
think he's basically
maybe in 20
looking at
years.
it like, all right, 20. What year are we in? 2028.
He's probably like, I don't want to saddle my horse or saddle
To
up to this
this.
fucking horse here.
Right.
Right, you don't
Let
want to
me
like
just-
that. He could just go down with that. Like if
Yeah.
that's
Hmm?
what's the point of losing with Kamala when you can
Right.
come back in 4 years and maybe be the candidate yourself?
Yeah.
Hey, look who just joined us.
Hello.
Otto.
Otto.
Beanie.
What's
Is
up,
that Tim
guys?
Pool?
It's beanie
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Tim Pool.
I
Tim
just came back
Pool's-
from the field, man. It was
Dude,
it's
Tim
cold
Pool
out
wears
there.
that beanie everywhere, dude. It was
It was
when
hot
we saw,
as shit in the
Why?
summer. Yeah.
when we saw.
Why
when
does
we
he
saw,
do that?
When
He
we
wore
saw
it at the
him-
rage rally.
Yeah, at the
right?
rage rally at that
The
dinner
after
thing.
party. It was hot. It was hot that
Dude,
weekend.
it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 90
just
degrees
his,
out.
just his trademark, I guess, like his logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
got-
like the
he's-
Donald
he's-
Trump hair.
He's got thinning hair and he's Asian, so it looks really weird.
And he's Asian?
Yeah,
He's
I guess
half.
he's
He has to
kinda
be half.
Asian.
he's part Korean, so like the hair
Yeah.
when it's like not full looks really bad.
You gotta shave it,
Yeah,
though,
it's
man. You
not
gotta
it's
bick
not
that
good.
shit.
Just embrace it.
But whatever.
But I thought
But
that was
anyway,
a great
yeah.
point about
Yeah, hat.
Kamala Harris.
Breathable.
Like just going back to what you're saying about how like Gavin Newsom probably was like, cool, I'll sit this one out. Like, cause
Yeah.
she'll be the sacrificial lamb. Like, let her be a moron because she in the background, she had to have made like a power play. She was like, oh, you're getting rid of Biden? Well, you have to come through me. And they were like, I guarantee you the establishment was like, we don't want to do that. And she was like, I will bring this whole place down if you guys don't go through me.
So, do you think he's going there? Like, I don't want to be the Democrats' version of Sarah Palin and have
Right.
it made about me. I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah, wait
Pretty
for the
much.
shit to blow over.
Yeah, Shapiro in Pennsylvania. He's
Trump
like,
has
nah,
some-
we got to rig this. I gotta be here in Pennsylvania to help rig the election here in Pennsylvania
Yeah.
in a swing
Or
state.
just get Trump in there, crash the economy,
That's it
and then
too.
become the hero in 2028.
I think that's the
Bingo.
play all
Blame it on
along. And I think that's
Bitcoin.
what's happening.
Blame it on Bitcoin and the fact that he let Ross out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Definitely
See?
blame it on Bitcoin.
did you hear? I heard like Maricopa County says they may need like 10 days to count the votes. Like
Fuck.
they're getting ready. They're like, we don't know how we're gonna have to rig it, but we want to keep our options open. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to be forced to do some late night shit. Like
we don't want to rush this in one night or two. We gotta.
Well, they came so close to getting caught already. They just say, well, we don't want to chance it this time, so we're just not going to do anything.
Where's our dude that talked about it? Remember, we have the sound drop of him when he spoke at that county council, Maricopa County. The guy who was like Rastafarian Alex Jones. The good day. That's what he was testifying against, like all the corruption at the county level with the votes and the counting of the ballots. Let me find him. I could find it for the after hours, but that's what he was talking about. That county is just so corrupt, and that was like, yeah, that dude. I have to find it, but that's what he was testifying in front of their county council, just like how corrupt it was, and they're running with that narrative. They're so fucking desperate. Like listening to Normie. Anything like Normie AM radio when I'm driving to work, just what the fuck's the traffic like? What's the weather? That's it. But at the top of the hour, they're like ABC News, and they're like they're running with that election denying, and they're running with that. JD Vance was recently interviewed and would not concede that, or would not say that Trump lost the election in 2020, and it just like they're really running with that, and they're trying to like. But I think it's just too big to rig this time around. What's that?
Well,
oh yeah.
Who knows? Let's not underestimate their ability to just blatantly cheat and not give a fuck that anybody sees. They'll just do it in front of you. They'll literally just do it right in front of you and say,
"You're muted, Nikki."
Nicholas.
I haven't actually been talking. I was like getting ready, like thinking what I was going to say.
You're getting wound up.
He's rehearsing his work.
Practicing your script there.
No, my point was actually like, dude, they did what they were supposed to do. Like, getting all the right wingers pissed off and then not satisfying was the goal. They're going to get violence at this election, one way or the other. Doesn't matter who wins. No matter who wins, it was not a legitimate election on either side. They don't care. No one's going to believe it. So
well, I don't condone violence on either side, but at least people are going to have these signs in their front yard, so they hopefully will be able to direct the violence at each other and leave everyone else alone, right? Like
the sign in my yard just says "Inflation is theft."
That's what I need to get, dude. I feel like I missed.
Can you guys review this Kamala video where she touches her nose a lot and just?
Oh yeah, let's bring that up.
Was she like
a lot of like
party dazed and confused? She touches her nose 29 times.
Trump tariffs.
Nick, you know what I'm talking about.
Here we go. I got
Kamala on coke. I got it.
Yeah. Is this was this recent, Babs? Where'd you dig this up? Is this pretty?
It's a
pretty
recent montage that somebody put together. I don't know.
Okay.
The thing about this, I always wanted to go to Howard, and I went to Howard. And actually, it was in February of 2004.
Twice.
Olives with cream cheese on dark rye. And
5.
So it's just
6 times.
Remember, I'm a prosecutor.
I
have focused on that.
Remember, I'm a cop.
I really thought he was going to
in a nutshell. And it was the assessor at the time.
Cop wouldn't do
perform some
cocaine,
marriages? We need more people.
Someone's been grading the evidence.
Every like nook
10
and cranny
times.
of City Hall.
This is like 3 minutes long.
Oh, but
we don't have to watch the whole thing.
Yes. Important is that we
The
also
only reason I
believe in
brought it up is like we frequently have pondered, like, I mean, it could be like a regular segment on the show, like what drug is Kamala on this time, right? We've hypothesized that she's been drinking or amphetamines or some kind of stimulants or
Yes. Always. J. Krill asks, "Is this the circle jerk?" Yes.
Can be.
Yes.
You want it.
Dude, dirty cop lawyer. Of course she likes coke. Like, what more needs to be said?
Yeah, she's made a few trips to the evidence locker late night.
But do you think that explains the sort of the cackling and the sort of manic, like surprise, like
It's also a sign of low intelligence that you don't have anything to say, so you just laugh. You're just laughing on.
Hey,
low
man,
IQ.
don't give away my strategy on the podcast.
I think she's just an idiot. Yeah, I mean that's. I don't know,
but I mean, just so we're
relatable.
I think
She might be
just
doing
so
some
we're
drugs.
fair, I've got a Trump clip there that all the libertarians for Trump need to check out, and this is for
sweet.
Walter Block. This is for anybody that really
for me.
thinks that this is that Trump is the libertarian.
I'm pretty sure
Hour
Walter Block's
long.
moved on to Libertarians for Harris. I'm sure by this point.
122. You said okay.
Libertarians
So this
for
is an hour
genocide.
long. Libertarians for genocide. Yeah. Whoever's gonna do it, I'll vote for him.
Yep.
All right, let me find 122.
122.
Yeah, I guess as she is the most genocidal candidate, I mean, I guess it's natural Block is going to support her. Can you jump it to like 120?
So this was what recently.
It's now buffering for some reason.
Was this at a Forbes thing? I think I saw some of the clips of this. It was Bloomberg. That's what it was.
Tariffs, because I'm a believer in tariffs. I'm
very
not sure
quiet.
that you
I
are. I
can't
don't think you
make it
are.
any louder.
Crank
I
it up.
congratulate you on your
I can't.
career. But to me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary is tariff, and it's my favorite word. It needs a public relations firm.
Can we make a soundbite out of that?
It's the most beautiful word in the
Yeah, sure.
Tariffs,
The
do you
most
think that
beautiful
will
word.
bring in the revenues? To use another
I thought he was
bipartisan
going to drop an
Yeah,
M-bomb.
institute, they say
All right, I think we get the idea. This is like too quiet.
He
So
doesn't just love Israel. He loves tariffs too. Okay, like this is pretty sick. I mean, are people really clapping to that shit? Does he get a good response when he says stupid things like that?
Apparently.
And this is on
Who's
Bloomberg,
falling
too,
for
right?
that? Like stupid, economically illiterate people that think like, oh, that's going to help get their job back or something.
We're gerbs.
James, the majority of America still thinks that the 2008 recession was caused by deregulation.
Right.
So of course,
Yeah,
no
my
one's
Uber
clapping for
driver
that.
thought that the other day.
She's going to get like 100 million votes for Kamala Harris. That should just tell you how stupid some of these people are. So, yes.
Well, she's going to
Sad. I
fix
know.
inflation. She's going to fix inflation, right? So
She
yeah,
is.
she's
Dude,
doing
she's
something
gonna
about
give me
high
a tax
prices.
Price
break.
controls.
Do you guys know that the
She's going
Democrats
to make
all along have been trying to
unfair
give us tax
rent
break?
increases.
She's gonna make your groceries cheaper.
Yeah,
With
I
price
know.
controls.
Well,
It is
She's
gonna
gonna
need-
go
why
after
would
the
we vote
price
for that?
gougers.
Why wouldn't
on,
you vote for
guys.
price controls? I don't.
Yeah, those
understand.
greedy,
Isn't it neat that
greedy corporations. She's gonna go after them
Kamala is
for
campaigning
price
on
gouging.
tax cuts. That is a fact, right?
Yeah.
If you see her
Yeah,
ads,
that's what she says in all
tax
of her
cuts.
ads.
It's tax cuts for us, but making those greedy billionaires pay their, fair share. It's like so
Yeah.
classic.
They need to pay more
know,
than
it's
their
like,
fair share.
wow.
Yeah.
Fair share.
They need to pay
What is
your
their
share.
fair share?
fair.
What is
My
their
share.
fair share?
My fair share.
I do, as Babs would say, I do identify as a tax victim. So,
Yes.
presumably.
Presumed
tax victim.
presumed tax victim.
Well, man, I just
on this show.
Can we start
like,
a
I don't know,
campaign to
I
just
missed it
like
earlier.
encourage people not to vote? Like I had somebody ask me if I would join them in like filling out postcards to send out to people to like encourage them to vote, and I had to like politely decline. But then I was thinking, well, what if we started our own campaign where we just sent out postcards that just
Oh,
said,
that'd be
just
based.
stay at home, don't
Yeah.
vote.
What if we? I want to set up a
Just send it.
table at the polling place and just offer people $5 to get back in their car and leave.
That's actually illegal, isn't it?
No, because you're not encouraging them to vote for somebody.
You're encouraging them. You're
not
paying
to
them to
vote.
not vote.
Yeah,
They'll somehow say
That
that's
doesn't mean they wouldn't
voter
arrest you and figure it out
Yeah, they'll
later.
probably
It's-
arrest you.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
you're
Oh, they
directly,
definitely
like,
would arrest
challenging
you.
their religion.
Yeah. What if you
Direct
didn't? Yeah. What if?
challenge to their religion.
But what if you didn't pay them? What if you just gave them some nice literature or something? You know.
Just have a little flyer, like
Yeah.
the top 10 reasons not to waste your time voting, and just pass it out to people in line. How about that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jared. Well, how low is your friend's self-esteem that they asked you to do that? Like, you feel better about yourself. Why do you not value your time that much?
I don't understand
Like,
it,
how
man.
about like a little questionnaire? It's like, do you feel like a chump? You know what I mean? Like, and just because people are standing
think
there
this
waiting
actually
to vote,
works?
right?
Or just challenge and be like, when was the last time that voting actually did something for you? Name specifically a thing that you voted for that helped you.
A vote.
Dude, no, you can't even do that because you listened to these people trying to answer questions about why they're voting for Kamala.
Yeah,
The
let me
only
pull up a
thing
good
you
For a
one.
lifetime, and I need to
not
make sure.
Trump.
I need to make
That's
sure my
it.
granddaughter can kill her own baby.
Well, no, what policy?
Okay.
Well, she's not Trump. It's literally that's all they can come up with.
Something,
That's all they're trying to
Supreme
think of.
Court, something.
Yeah.
Hold on, this looks interesting. Fake outrage from Kamala.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, this is all her recent speeches and how canned and fake outrage they are.
That's something I'd hear in my nightmares, dude.
Right?
Hell is
It's,
Like,
it's all
Is there one of those of her cackling?
I don't know, dude.
You should sample it and then like make a whole keyboard full of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah, someone done one of those like electronic like EDM shit with like Kamala's cackle. Has that been done yet?
That sounds terrible.
oh my god, yeah.
horrifying.
Well, what I just heard was just
Yeah.
Nice.
Here's an example. I just posted in here, and this is why the 19th was a mistake. Here's a kind of women on the street interview. This guy
boy.
interviewing these dumb bitches on why they are voting. And yeah, this is
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala,
And how come?
because she's not a bigot.
So does that mean that Trump's a bigot?
Yeah, and he's kind of an asshole. And he's just not at all about women's rights or really anybody's rights except
kill them,
cis
baby.
white men. We're not really cis white men. And most
So he's for me?
Yeah, he's for you. Which, I mean, at least he's for somebody. But he needs to be for everybody.
Are there any things that you like about Kamala? Because you mentioned a lot of things you dislike about Trump, but are there any things you like about Kamala?
I like how she is for women's rights and gay rights. And she is very active in the queer community, which is very important to us.
And what does she do in the LGBTQ community? Like, what are some things she does?
I would say that she promotes rights. She talks about people and she talks about the community. She spreads awareness, which Trump does none of.
All the
What are
buzzwords.
some things that Trump did that make you think he's bigoted?
Well, for starters, I mean, would you want anybody making decisions about your body without your permission, like he's doing for women's rights, putting bans on abortion, not letting us make our own choices about our body, what happens to us?
He actually just brought it back to the states so that the states can vote on it. He actually doesn't have an opinion on it, really. He just brought it back to the states to where the states can vote on whether they want to have it in their state.
Okay. Yes, there is that.
Okay, and so that's your number one issue. That's the biggest reason as to why you're voting for Kamala.
Abortion, LGBTQIA safety.
Whoa, she didn't say plus. That bigot.
Oh,
She's
bigot.
a bigot. Needs to apologize to the community.
Cancel.
She did not say
Listen,
plus.
Yeah.
when
Well,
she's
Consider
there,
it as a plus. I'm plus size. She did not include me in that.
when she's there, the plus size is just implied. Okay. Like, she doesn't need to say plus.
And I didn't want her including me, damn it. It's bullshit.
Oh, it's great for everyone who's listening. She was quite a portly
rotund.
woman.
She was
Yes.
a big woman. Big,
There's
big woman.
there's another voter response in the
woman of
neighbor video where this deranged. Did you see this one? The deranged neighbor approaches the door of somebody with a Trump sign and just lets her have it. It's like, oh my god.
We're we're about 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away, and the derangement is really ramping up. So I don't know if Jared here is pulling it up. Jared,
What is
you
it?
got the docs.
I was just
the
driving
neighbor
around.
here.
the neighbor.
I was driving around today and I saw a guy like just standing on the street corner. In one hand, he's waving an American flag. In the other hand, he had a Trump yard sign.
All right. So this is from a Ring camera.
To know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message.
Hold on. Let me start this over. I need to get the volume set. Boop.
So this is from a Ring board.
I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful.
Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people?
No, I haven't walked by recently.
Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
No.
No.
Lord.
Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh my God. You for that one.
That's
moral?
exactly that's how your side acts.
Oh my God.
That's
He's
how
the
you
most
guys,
immoral person around.
in your opinion, that's
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry. Have a nice day.
We have to start just taking
day.
baseball back
God-
to people's
God-
heads.
God bless you.
Nice.
No, I just, sometimes I just want to like just run out with the baseball bat and chase her off your porch. Like, just swing. Like these people are insane. Get the big butterfly. Can we make big giant butterfly nets great again? Like just have them around scooping up all these crazy people and just throw them
MAGA, make asylums great again.
Like animal control.
Yeah, throw them back of a wagon. Just take them off to the mental asylum. Come on, man.
Well,
that's kind of why. That's one reason why I'm voting for Trump,
normalize-
among many other reasons, because I want to see the reading and total breakdown of people like that. It'll be glorious.
Let's normalize this, having neighbors like terrorize each other. Like most people put a sign out in their front yard and then nothing happens. There should be consequences, right? Like maybe the competing neighbors should come over to your house and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like my next door neighbor literally has 4 Democratic Party signs in his front yard. Okay, 4 different Democratic Party candidates. Tell me you could even name 4 party candidates. Like,
well, that's why they put them out there, because people. Well, they put them out there so that people will drive by. Mindless people will drive by, see names, and then when they go to the polling center, they'll be like, "Oh, I remember hearing that name as I drove." Subconsciously, like, "Oh, I've heard that name. Let me fill this shit out." That's the whole point.
I think it's also trying to like map territory. Show like.
Well, it's signaling, right? It's signaling
remember
like
Ron Paul. Remember we were
signaling like I'm a good person. I'm a good Democrat. Like I'm not a bigot. Like that's the whole. Now that's what it means, right?
It's like wearing a mask. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Or like wearing
my
a
sign,
MAGA hat.
It's like my sign in my I don't have any a sign to put in my yard because I'm not.
Well, that's why we got to put cool signs in our yards.
So mine just says, it says inflation is theft.
Yeah, I need something like that.
There's a lot of cool libertarian
signs
signs
for nobody sign.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one from?
I got it from the LP convention in 2022, I think it was. Yeah, out in Reno.
James is anti-flags and signs. It's like, I'll
vote for no one. Vote for no one. No one will let you down. No one will, like.
Yeah, I like that one.
Nobody will end the war. Nobody.
Right,
nobody will keep their
I need to find
promises.
some cool signs.
Or those ones like in this house, communism. We believe communism is evil.
See that
the ATF is gay.
There was a really cool one of those that was like, we don't believe in. I don't know. It was before that one came out. It was like cheap platitudes, and it was like pretty awesome. I gotta dig it out. I have it somewhere on my phone. I want to get one of those signs, something like that. Because dude, there's so many, like just so many Harris signs just popping up out of nowhere. No one had a Biden sign.
You live in the wrong place, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I will say this in Cleveland, I don't see many Harris signs. It depends which neighborhood you'll see Trump signs, but I feel like there's a lot of people abstaining and a lot of people voting for Trump.
Yeah.
Well, are you I'm in Pennsylvania, which is a swing state, so everybody's all extra like, what
do you think?
Are you in a swing state? Like, because a
there?
lot of the states they've just given up on. They're just already determined.
Yes. Ohio is
There you
pretty contested. And it does depend on which neighborhood you're in. I live in a very working class neighborhood, and most of the people here, there aren't signs because no one can be bothered to deal with that shit. They're too busy trying to like make a living, and that includes all of the people that speak Hispanic in my neighborhood. None of them have signs either. Now,
Does
you go out
anybody
in the
make a sign that says hairy balls? Like that would be a fun parody sign.
But if you go over to like the other side of Cleveland, the east side, where it's like all the upper middle class people, lots of hair signs over there. And then the minute you're out of the city, they don't have signs. They have 15-foot flags that say Trump on them.
Yeah.
They have billboards and shit in their front yards. Yeah,
Pretty
Some guy
much.
does
They
have a big.
paint the side of their barns.
Yeah, some guy does have a big Trump flag over his garage.
Dude, I saw that
2
like
streets over.
that when I was this was back in 2000. Oh, this is 20. I think it was 2020. I was going to a bachelor party up in Western PA, like in the mountains. So it was like in the middle of nowhere, and some dude had painted, or it might not have actually been painted, but it was like superimposed on the side of his building, that fucking image of Trump on the tank. You've seen that one where it's like that picture of him like on the tank and like all this shit. It was like fucking like blown up on the side of this fucking house. Oh my god, dude.
Oh man, it's wild.
I feel more comfortable around those people still.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Trumpers.
I feel like with them, I feel like they're misguided. With the other side, I feel like they just have to have a mental illness.
That's fair. I think that's right. Yeah, that's
Like,
and the other aspect
I live
too.
in Baltimore. It's like it's all mental
illness. We're surrounded
it's
by
just
all of it.
mental illness.
I think it's kind of like a battle of like inbreeding versus retardation. Like
yeah.
Well, inbreeding if you're out in the country versus all of the fluoride in the water in the city.
At least they've got the
fluoride
good
and
alcohol
lead,
out there.
like the lead poisoning and the microplastics of the city.
Yeah.
At least the inbreeders have the good hooch. You know, they got the good moonshine out there.
Well, what do you guys think? Should take it over to take some topics over to the after hours to the overflow room.
Yeah, I gotta come.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna come to the overflow room.
Yeah, you
talk
will.
About.
Yeah, you will, Mr. President.
And just so you know, I've got that good news anarchy in Philly video that we can start out with for the overflow room.
Nice.
This is like an expression of true anarchy in Philly.
Let's go.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
if you want to
Nick P.
join us in the overflow room, I guess you can sign up for a Patreon for as little as $3 a month. I think that level enough, you can just come in the overflow room. It's basic. Thank you, Mr. President. So yeah, sign up for as little as $3 a month. You get access to our overflow room, which we're going to record right after this, and you also get access to the back catalog of shows. And we also have other ways to donate to the show over at PRLfans.com. We also have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. Use the code PRL or PRL Podcast for a 20% or for a 10% discount. If you want to get a 20% discount, you got to spend $50 or more and use the code PRL2. Nikki, why don't you tell the good people again where they can find you as always before we close this one on out?
Yeah, if you have a podcast and you want to make it better, stop on over to ironagemarketing.com and I will do all the fun stuff that you don't want to do for that.
Cool. Highly recommend. So anyway, until next time, live free
or die.